Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode. Welcome to episode 34 of Next Gen News Week. Why are you recording? I accidentally said last week was episode 32, but it was actually 33. So this is episode 34 of your favorite gaming podcast that's got all the latest information on stuff like Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil Reverse and Resident Evil more stuff. We got lots of Resident Evil stuff today. Before we get into
Evil Dream Drop Remix Deluxe.
Yes, Resident Evil for the Virtual Boy. Like, we got lots of stuff. My name is Mitch. Joining me, as always, we have Richard.
Hello.
Why does he keep doing that? Steven.
Yep.
And Michael.
Hello. Is it me you're looking for?
It is.
Okay.
We're all looking for.
I didn't know if he was going to keep going.
We're all looking for our inner Michael. So yeah, we have lots of Resident Evil news to talk about because they decided to have their own. I don't want to call it a Nintendo Direct, but it's very Nintendo Directy the way that it was made. But
How awesome is that, though?
Love it.
It's awesome.
I love that more companies are starting to do that and not just Nintendo. Like Ubisoft does them occasionally, and PlayStation has been doing them for a couple years, and Xbox, I think, is starting to get into it. So before we get into that, though, we have some smaller topics we're going to go over. First one, neckbeards and sexual predators are no longer allowed at fighting game tournaments unless they take a bath and stop being sexual predators. Because the fighting game community has finally made a official code of conduct requiring really to hammer down on people in the fighting game community who have been, for instance, grooming kids and until they become of age. And, you know, last year there was a lot of stories about Smash Brothers players being like sexual predators. And as someone who goes to tournaments or used to, nobody likes to shower. So it's like going to like a Magic the Gathering tournament or a Pokemon tournament. Nobody knows how to take a bath. I
mean, like, the only rule you need is just, hey, did you put on deodorant this morning and take a shower? No? Okay, you're not allowed in. And those rule out all the predators and sexual, misconduct and neckbeards, because that's the people that are not showering.
I don't know if I like that, though. Like, I mean, but that's how you can identify them.
Yeah.
So why would you want to change that?
I mean, get better at hiding your shit. Go be a pedophile and look clean doing it. I don't know.
That's
pedophile.
That's going to be a quote on Michael's headstone.
Be a respectable pedophile that we can look at too in society.
Yes.
Wow.
Let us be able to find you by the sex trafficking, not sex trafficking, whatever that website is where they can track sex predators and stuff like that. Let us track you by that and not by your scent.
Do you have a stiff sock beside your bed? You might be a child predator.
I'm going to be honest, man, that was all news to me. I mean, I had seen like headlines and stuff like that, but I had no idea that it was so much of a problem that they would even have to create a code of conduct just to kind of like lock down on that. I mean, that's ridiculous and pathetic.
Yeah. Well, I think the big problem is that like the rules have been like anytime that someone hosts a tournament, the rules are set by the tournament organizer and not just on a flat level for everyone. There's a place in down several miles away from where I live, but it's called Next Level Games, and they do like Magic the Gathering, they do Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and then they were for a while getting into like Smash Brothers tournaments and stuff like that whenever Ultimate came out. And there was a lot of issues with people not showering. They'd show up, they'd stink up the whole place. And I've been there for like Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments a long time ago, and it's just like, I don't get it. And like they would just be like the most disgusting garbage folk. Like they just crawled out of like a dumpster with raccoons in it, and then just came and just pulled their, I don't know, their Yu-Gi-Oh deck out of like their butt crack and then played, and then they walked down the street to go to the Target over there because there was a Pizza Hut in it, and then they would turn around and come back and just cover themselves in pizza grease, and it's just like code of conduct.
I feel nauseous right
I wanted Pizza Hut until you said that, but I mean,
I was already sick in my stomach. Now this.
I mean, it's just how it is. Like, I know, like, if you listen to any of our like bonus content with like Jason from Big Dad Games, like we've never had those kind of issues like at his tournaments because mostly they're a lot of younger kids and adults who know how to bathe. But I'm really glad that like portion of the fighting game community never creeped its way into those tournaments because like God, man, and those tournaments are at pizza restaurants, so it's like there's an open invitation for them to come in and just wall around in pizza, but they don't do it.
No, it has to be old pizza. Like that's it.
Yeah.
They have to know someone who made the pizza who has dirt under his fingernails that gave them the pizza.
God. Okay. Anyway, let's jump away
Did you
from.
get COVID from pizza? You might be a pedophile.
Ooh. You're gonna make Steven's background audience lose it. All right. Getting away from talking about Super Smash Brothers
please.
to Catch a Predator edition. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is getting its first major update for Season 1, which is going to come out with a new zombies map. So if you're big into zombies, Firebase Z, which is the name of the new map, is coming out. I think it's February 4th. A bunch of new multiplayer maps, so like remasters from maps from previous Call of Duty games, all sorts of new weapons, including this kawaii anime pack coming out February 4th. I don't know if that's enough to get Michael to spend $60 on a Call of Duty game, but there is a kawaii pack coming, and if you're big in zombies, there's a big update coming. That's what you need to look out for with that. And Pokemon Snap, it's called New Pokemon Snap, not Pokemon Snap 2, which is what I always want to call it. Got a trailer last week. I think it was right after the day after we recorded, and it's got a April 30th release date, and it's probably the most gorgeous looking Pokemon game I've ever seen, and I really hope that whatever Pokemon game comes out next actually looks a lot like this game because it was magnificent. But Michael, what did you like about that trailer?
I'm super excited. Like I really am, and as much as I deeply enjoyed the original Pokemon Snap, and in my opinion, as short as the gameplay was, ahead of its time as far as that sort of style gameplay. Like I know they had the like the horror game, forget what it's called, where you took pictures of ghosts. That was
Fatal Frame.
There we go, Fatal Frame. Like mainly like a PlayStation thing, but like still like. It was different, and they did what they could with like the Pokemon's personalities. This really shows off the beauty of Pokemon and all the intermixing and everything. And what I'm hoping for 2021, 2022, Nintendo has always kind of teased like their own sort of technology in some of these trailers, like we've seen with Breath of the Wild. The guy basically has a Switch in his hand controlling this shit. So on Pokemon Snap, we have a piece of paper with the card come out, and I'm hoping like we'll get to have a little thin-ass piece of gaming technology. You can just pull out and it pops out and it's boom, right there. Just sheet of paper. I hope we get a sheet of paper from Nintendo.
It would definitely fit with the Labo theme.
They gave us cardboard, so...
I mean, close, yeah.
Very close. What's funny? One of the Labo kits that never came out that they teased was a camera, and everybody always thought that was going to come. It was going to be part of Pokemon Snap, and like I said, it's never came out. So I mean, there's a possibility that they may be sitting on that.
Maybe
because they released the steering wheel. I think it was the steering wheel and the VR one were the last ones they did. And when the steering wheel came out, it mostly only worked with Mario Kart 8. Like it was just like a new controller for that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Steven, did you like the trailer?
The trailer was all right. To be honest, Pokemon Snap was never my game. It wasn't my thing. Maybe it's just because I didn't understand the concept. I'm just used to the die-hard grind and battling and collecting Pokemon and not being able to just take in the simplicity of taking a picture and enjoying that actual function. But maybe I'll get into it. Maybe I'll watch some gameplay. Maybe I'll dust off the 6.4 and see what I was actually missing, because back in the day I was really picky about my games, and that just wasn't a game that interested me at all.
I feel you. I mean, it wasn't for everybody, and even like the newer DS games and even the Switch, I mean, you can take pictures of your Pokemon. Like, that's, in and of itself, not a new concept.
Right.
But, I mean, I feel like this is just a different way to explore the lore.
Yeah. Well, and as part of the whole grinding bit of it, you obviously never really got into like the meat and potatoes of Pokemon Snap, because there were parts like where you had to like, I think Michael, you may have to help me out with this one,
yes.
but I'm pretty sure on the fire level you had to constantly beat a Charmander over the head with the apples, like through like half the course to get it to evolve into a Charizard. And that was the only way to get a photo of Charizard, was you had to constantly just harass this Charmander and lead it down this path for it to evolve at the very end of it.
Same way with like the Jigglypuff bits, you basically had to hit or pester Jigglypuff at certain odd intervals of the level to get like the final like singing portion at the very end of the level. There were some other little different hidden goodies.
Yeah.
But as far as grind though, I mean, and that's maybe just because I have, experience with the game, but I can beat that game and get all the secrets within half an hour.
Oh, really? I haven't played it in, 15 years.
I was surprised last time I played it, because I was like, oh yeah, I remember this. Oh yeah, I remember this. And then, like, after I dusted off, I was like, wow, 27 minutes. Like, what the fuck?
Dang.
I won't say everything was a perfect score, but, like, completed the whole game, had every picture of every Pokemon, and all the secrets unlocked. Half an hour.
Yeah.
Was it the full 150, or were they just sectioned?
No, it's not even. I think it's under 100 Pokemon.
Which this new one, I believe, has 300. I think so. You'll get way more playtime out of it. I actually don't think it's even a $60
a whole
game.
hour.
Yeah, I think it's only. I think it's a $50 game. I don't think it's a full 60.
We'll see.
So, Richard, do you have anything to add to that about Pokemon Snap?
No, it looks lame.
Wow.
No, I mean, like, so it's obviously not for me. If I'm going to spend an entire game taking pictures, it's going to be in the basement of a mansion trying to find a ghost. It's not going to be snapping some cutesy Pokemon. I'll say this about it. It does look beautiful, as far as from like that kind of like the art style and just the way it looks with the gameplay and just how bright and colorful. It looks a hell of a lot better than Sword and Shield did.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to give it that. I mean, it looks gorgeous, but I'm not going to be taking any pictures.
What if your daughter says, "Daddy, I want to play Pokemon Snap"?
She is going to want to have it. I will end up buying it for sure, but it's not going to be because I'm wanting to get it.
Now, would you consider, assuming these Pokemon are 18 years and older, would you take a little Jigglypuff?
No.
Pictures?
No. What is that one that they always know? There's one that's kind of green that you always see pop up in really inappropriate artist renderings. Gardevoir or something like that.
Gardevoir.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to see any of that either.
We don't have to.
Those big mommy milkies right there.
I want to see an undead Chinese girl with like blood on her kimono, whispering weird shit.
Hey, they have that. It's called Mimikyu, and it's literally a sad ghost that lives inside of a Pikachu costume. And whenever you figure out that it's not a real Pikachu,
and then it has holes right there where the nipples are, so they poke out at you.
Man, I'm referencing Fatal Frame right now. I'm not trying to say.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but if you figure out that it's it's not a Pikachu, it has this giant ghostly arm that comes out from underneath it and grabs you and sucks you into the underworld and kills you. So,
All right, look.
Or
let me
wait.
rephrase what I said. I want a new Fatal Frame.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, so the girl is coming out of the TV, via the ring, and she gets about halfway out, and she turns around and she goes, "What are you doing, step bro?"
Oh no, man! Wait, hold on. Nothing about like that. But what about some like crazy AR game where you have to take pictures of ghosts around your house, and it can recognize stuff like your TV, and like stuff will come out of your TV, or like it can recognize windows and stuff. And
If you
that'd
take
be
enough drugs,
badass.
that can happen every day.
Yeah, but
I really hope that
you can't. You can't.
I mean,
turn
that would be really
Right.
cool. I think there were a lot of missed opportunities with the 3DS and that sort of AR technology.
Mhm.
But hopefully, with the
You
AR,
can do it with the Switch though. couldn't
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it doesn't have a back camera, does it?
It doesn't.
No.
You're right. It doesn't.
You're welcome.
I don't know. Let
So,
me see. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, maybe
it
with
doesn't.
like VR, slowly going forward and augmented reality, hopefully progressing.
Does it
too,
even have
maybe
a
we'll
front
get some of those
camera?
games.
no, it doesn't.
There's
I
no
thought it
cameras
did,
on it
they
at
just
all.
never
Huh.
used it. There was something on the bottom. There's something on the bottom.
It's got that IR camera on the bottom of it.
It's an
not
IR
a real-
camera?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just an IR camera.
Lame.
Okay. Yeah. So it's you
Y'all
couldn't
could
do
have
The,
anything
charged
with it.
$50 more. And
The
put a back
Wii U
camera
had
on
a
there.
front-facing camera on the tablet.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, it did.
Yeah, no.
And we'll never have those games ported. Anyway.
Damn.
I think the only ones was it the didn't the new 3DSs have back cameras?
Oh,
Yeah.
every 3DS, actually the DSi was the first one that had a camera on the back of it.
Yeah.
And then, because the DSi had the front-facing camera in the middle of the hinge between the two screens. It was the most awkward spot ever. But let me tell you how freaking cool I thought it was that I had a DSi that had a damn camera on it. Just like, look at me! It's like, I felt cool. And then
And the 3DS had two cameras for 3D photos, and you could make 3D photos of you and your honey bunch in a whopping 210 DPI. And
yeah, you could shoot 3D videos and totally not
3D non-pedophilic videos.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into the
If you
big.
tried to record porno with your 3DS, you might be a pedophile.
There we go.
Come back around there.
Let's get away from pedophilia again, Michael. For the second time this evening, we're going to talk about the Resident Evil Direct that actually just aired a couple hours before we recorded this. We actually delayed recording a day, and it worked out because I forgot about the Resident Evil thing. So, yay! It all works out. So, we got several different things. We've got a release date for Resident Evil 8 or Resident Evil Village, however you want to call it. A new multiplayer mode. And then a bunch of different bundles for the game and special editions. And so Richard, before we do a more detailed going through of this, overall impressions about the Resident Evil Direct.
Oh, it's fantastic. I have a lot of respect that, you take something that's iconic as Resident Evil and the series as it progressed, there was definitely some really high points and then there was some really low points. A lot of it kind of geared around, it started to feel stale really quickly, that kind of gameplay. And then the way they've just completely reinvented themselves with 7, but still held on to what they established with like the first 6. It's amazing. And I think that what they have going on now is terrific. I think they had a lot of good stuff that they displayed. The partnership with Netflix, as long as it's done right, that could be really great. As long as it, I'm pretty sure it will because Capcom is involved with it. I think the show will benefit by following along with the continuity of the game series, but maybe not necessarily being a remake or a retelling of anything that's happened in the game series. But overall, wow, yeah, it was great.
Steven?
I've always just been a fan of how they portray their games. It's always been a pretty good one. I mean, I really don't know how to add to it. I just enjoy it.
Michael, do you have anything to add on top of that?
I would really like to experience some of the remasters. I didn't like, I guess back in the day, like the original kind of movement mechanics.
Tank.
Like, yeah, just like, parts of your view are hidden almost seemingly on purpose for no god dang reason. Like, this isn't building suspense. I'm trying to go down a fucking hallway. Like,
oh, the fixed camera angle.
yeah, man.
I think the thing that really turned me away was the not being able to move and shoot at the same time. Like, you had to stop and shoot. Which, I mean, I think that's fixed now.
But hold on. Like, how old were y'all when Resident Evil came out, though?
I was a baby.
Yeah, I mean,
I wasn't even born. If Michael was a baby, I wasn't born yet.
I mean, no, I was probably like, I don't know, 12? I have to do math.
What year did it come out? What did it come out in?
That's
what you know how to do math. You're a pedophile.
Let's see here. When did Resident Evil first come out?
Well,
my wiki is not really working.
All right. Well, never mind. He found it.
That's wickety whacked, yo.
Yeah.
It came out.
Oh, I'm so proud of it.
Go down here. It's just not good. 1996.
Oh, so I was one. I was one.
Yeah, so no wonder you didn't like the controls, man. You know,
Well,
I was 9. Yeah, wow.
My first Resident Evil game was Resident Evil 5 on PS3. So.
Oh, really?
Yes, and then I played 6 for a little bit, and I was like, I hate this. And then I always wanted to play 7, never played 7, and then I bought Resident Evil 2 Remake and played the first 15 minutes of it and got bored, and I just stopped playing it.
Jeez, you got to get 1 under your belt.
Well, maybe. And I've heard lots of good things about Resident Evil 4, and so
4 is great.
When 4 gets a remake, that's probably whenever I'll really get into it. I guess I beat Resident Evil 5. Yeah, I beat 5. So I do have 1 under my belt. So, all right. So let's just go through some of the information from this. Originally, RE8 was only planned on coming out on PS5, Series X, and PC, but now it is coming out also on PS4 and Xbox One. All of those are coming out on May 7th. There's actually a demo available now on PS5, and it's coming out to other platforms later. I think Richard is downloading or has downloaded the demo.
Oh, no, it's ready. It's good to go.
Richard has the demo ready to go. They had a pretty extensive trailer and then showed off some gameplay of what looks like the wicked stepmother from Cinderella and her stepdaughters, or her daughters, that would just or turn into bats or bugs or whatever it is. And
it looks like a Castlevania game.
Ooh, it does look like a Castlevania.
It really does. It really does.
Yeah. And the big thing I thought that I didn't know that they were doing with this, and one of the bundles for the game, they've got several different tiers of it, and they all come with different in-game items. They're supposed to help you out, especially for people at the very beginning of the game. But there's a bundle that's only $20 more, which is about the same price as Resident Evil 7. But it comes with Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8 in one bundle. So, because the main character, whose name slips my mind, Ethan Winters.
Yeah.
He is the character you play with in Resident Evil 8 is the same character from Resident Evil 7. So it is a direct sequel to that game. And yeah, and there's also a new multiplayer mode, which I will let Richard talk about because I completely missed it in the direct.
Is it a zombie mode?
No, it's not even like a multiplayer mode. It's a totally separate thing. What did you call it? Is Resident Evil Reverse, I think?
Yeah, Reverse.
So in a nutshell, it's basically just a time deathmatch. You've got 5 players that are going to be put into an atmosphere very similar from other. It's not really focused on any particular Resident Evil game. It features characters from the entire series, locations from the entire series, and it's just like a five-man free-for-all. The only thing that I saw that was interesting is that once your character dies, you all start out as humans. Once your character dies, it turns into a bioweapon, a large monstrosity that you can go out and continue to fight the other players. And the only thing that kind of confused me is they kept mentioning like points and scores, and the leaderboards and stuff like that. And they said that if you get killed and you turn into a bioweapon and then you kill the person that killed you as a bioweapon, that you can get big points out of that. But it didn't really go into much detail of how the points work. It just said that, well, doing this could get you points, doing this could get you points. So I don't know what the end game is there. Apparently there's these little add-ons that you can get that are hidden around the map that can make you an even larger bioweapon. So it looks really interesting, but it doesn't look like the type of like online experience that's going to have like a huge reception like Fortnite or something like that. I think it's going to be kind of a throwaway thing. Yeah. But it looks cool. I mean, if you like Resident Evil, it's probably going to be fun to mess around with. To me, it looks more like the Doom multiplayer. I mean, it's there, it's fun, but you don't see these big, huge masses of people that are like, oh yeah, let's play Doom multiplayer. So, I mean, that's kind of how I see it. It looks cool, though.
Yeah. So anyway, you have all of that big Resident Evil stuff. Did I miss anything? I think I got everything, all the big stuff, except for we kind of already touched on the Netflix show that they're doing. Is there anything else?
I'm really annoyed that you've not played Resident Evil 7 and finished it.
Look.
Yes, like
it's like, what the hell, man?
So I feel like I'm missing something as far as like Resident Evil 7, because like
you haven't either?
No, I've beaten it. I've
Gotcha.
I've also watched 2 different gameplays from 2 different people, and of course they went about it a little different on their gameplays. And maybe I'm just forgetting it. I didn't know that Ethan got caught up into what could potentially be a sequel to 7.
Well, so the premise of 8 is it's a few years later, and Ethan and Mia have a child, and for some reason it centers around this child. Now, is spoiler alert for Resident Evil 7? Is that a thing? I mean, it's been out a while, so. Well, wait, you guys haven't played it. Okay, so I can do this in a way that's well, okay, I'm not going to consider this a spoiler because you find this out.
I can take my headphones off.
No. Look, what I'm about to say, you find out in like the first 10 or 15 minutes of gameplay, so it's not a spoiler. So Mia, who is your girlfriend at the time, in 7, no, but she has been infected with this virus or whatever. So I think it would probably stem from that. Is that she was infected, naturally she's still alive in 8, so there's resolution there. But maybe there's like some sort of a residual, or they're thinking maybe that because she was infected, it would have done something to this infant. Maybe it's DNA, or maybe there's just something about this infant that they want because she was born from Mia, or he was born. I don't know what gender the infant is, but that's the only thing I can think of is that I'm trying to think who the bad guys are. The bad guys aren't Umbrella anymore. Oh, shit. That was probably a spoiler. Well, no. Do you learn that in the 6th one? That it's Umbrella Blue now and Chris Redfield's with them? You guys aren't Resident Evil players. Yeah, so, I don't know. There's a moment about, I'm going to say about halfway through the game where you have to make a choice. Steven probably knows what I'm referencing, where you have to make a choice, and obviously there is a canon choice there, but they did a really good job. Did you play the DLC?
Yes.
Okay, so they kind of tied that one loose end up with that second DLC. So no, I mean I like the continuity. I think it's great being a direct sequel, and I think it probably stems from that infection or viral or whatever you want to call it that Mia had. I think they're thinking there's probably something up with the baby. But vampires, wow. Where did that come from?
And
That's
werewolves too, right?
Yeah, werewolves and vampires. So yeah,
and crazy bug witch ladies that look. I mean,
yes. No, I think those are the daughters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they. I don't know. I'm interested to see what happens. I'm interested to find out where the hell they are, because the first one takes place, or not the first one. 7 takes place in Louisiana. And this is definitely not Louisiana.
No, this looks like somewhere over in Europe somewhere. But, all right. The only thing that was missing from that whole Resident Evil showcase was the announcement of Resident Evil 4 Remake, but I assume that that's probably going to come out next year. But, cool.
Probably.
Well,
maybe Christmas. I
think they usually drop them in like March, so it makes sense to just do March 2022.
Yeah.
All right. Well, kind of burned through that. So let's just quickly. I know last week we were talking a lot about the Little Nightmares demo, and I haven't got a chance to play it, but I know Richard and Steven both have. So do y'all want to tell everyone a little bit about your experience with the Little Nightmares 2 demo?
It was too short.
Very.
I mean, it's, immediately I try and, I don't know if this is a prequel or a sequel. I don't know if there's been any type of like a story thing to
kind of. It's a sequel.
Is it a sequel? So 6, who was the child that you play as in the first Little Nightmares, something happens to her close to the end that gives her abilities. So I don't know, man. It's a strange story, but the demo's good. You should check it out. It only takes about 15 minutes to get through it. There's not really any kind of puzzle that you're probably going to get hung up on, but.
Well, Steven, anything to add on top of that?
I don't know. Like until the game comes out, I couldn't legitimately call it a sequel. Only because I'm starting to see, only a few games I've seen lately, but it seems like the idea is starting to catch on to where officially they are considered as sequels, but they are just really like a part of the same timeline, just in a different area.
The DLC to the first one it happened simultaneously.
So it just seems like that's how they're playing this, and depending on if they wrap everything up in 2 or they've already got plans to come out with the 3, I'm not sure. So I really wouldn't call it a sequel just yet, because I've seen how people have flipped stories like that to get more out of it. But I mean, it's immersive. It's always been immersive. I've always liked it. I've always liked that type of storytelling where you get no words and you just have to pick up on what you're seeing in your environment, what you're running from, what you're faced up against, to kind of get things. And also, after I streamed the demo, I decided to check and see if anybody else has already done it and if there's lore, and there's lore already out there for it. So I'm just excited for it to come out. I knew it was going to be a masterpiece when it came out, the demo, but we'll see how the full game is going to be.
Nice. Michael, did you get to play it?
I did not, but I mean, more power to everybody who did.
Well, what's interesting though is to build upon that with the lore and the story is that there's a show coming.
There's a Little Nightmare show coming?
There's a Little Nightmare show. And it's odd because the 2 people at the helm should be on everybody's radar as familiar. It's the Russo brothers.
Oh, nice.
The Avengers guys, yeah. And another interesting tidbit is they've actually chosen Henry Selick to direct the first episode. So I don't know how far any of your geekdom goes if you recognize Henry Selick. Henry Selick was the director of A Nightmare Before Christmas and Coraline and James and the Giant Peach.
Okay.
So
that's what I was thinking.
Kind
but I wasn't
of
sure.
That kind of makes me think that this it's not going to be animated. It's going to be stop motion, which in the world of Little Nightmares would look fantastic.
Right,
So,
yeah.
but that's still in pre-production right now. I think they're actually talking to Netflix about it.
Nice. Well, in a slightly video game related topic that's not in the notes, but there were a lot of movies that recently got delayed, and just about every movie that Sony had their feet in, like the Uncharted movie, I'm pretty sure the Last of Us TV show, and some other stuff, those all got pushed back until what I think next year now. So
No, Ghostbusters got pushed to November of this year, November 11th.
okay.
But it was supposed to come out like in May or no. They pushed it to a summer. It was like June or July, and it's pushed to November.
On the flip side of that, though, Godzilla vs. King Kong got pushed up 2 months and is going to be out in theaters and on HBO Max on March 26th instead of in May. So get your popcorn, get your loud sound bars and subwoofers, and turn that shit all the way up and just enjoy the hell out of that. Sorry,
I think I'm probably going to go to the theater for that.
It's gonna be a big deal.
Yeah,
I think the theater in Gallatin's still open.
it is. It
I
is.
think, yeah.
It's the only theater around here that's still open. Sorry, I know this isn't video game related. But Godzilla King of the Monsters is one of my all-time favorite movies. So if I have an opportunity to talk about Godzilla, I'm going to talk about Godzilla. So
Do you think it's really going to be that simple, though? That it's just going to be Godzilla versus Kong?
I think I think
so,
halfway through, they're going to fight. They're going to get over it, and then they're going to have to team up and fight the rest
And then
of
it'll be a buddy cop movie.
Yeah.
They'll get a giant police car and everything.
Yeah, they'll have it'll be like a Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart buddy cop thing.
Yes! And King Kong is Kevin Hart because he's so small.
They, well, I don't know.
Not a monkey reference, I promise.
That is... If you think about the scale, if you watch Kong Skull Island and then you watch King of the Monsters, Godzilla is... Kong would have to have grown a lot.
Right.
For that to even be... any sort of... I still think Kong would win, though, man. Opposable thumbs, come on.
Right.
But Godzilla has hyper beam. So
but
okay,
King
but
Kong
Mario versus Bowser, he
MMA,
pulls him by his tail and swings him around. And he goes, "So long, gay Bowser," and he'll be like, "So long, gay Godzilla," and then same thing.
I would love to see that. That would be amazing.
Are you listening, Warner Brothers? Make it happen.
No, not for Kong to do that. I literally want to see Mario show up.
Oh.
Interrupt the fight and grab Godzilla.
By Kaiju Mario shows up.
Yeah, Kaiju Cat Mario. He took a break from beating up
grabs him by the tail, slings him around, and throws him into King Kong.
Disappears, never to be seen anymore in the movie.
Yeah. He just shows up and gets in a warp pipe, and he's out of there. Like
jumps into a pipe and disappears.
And it's like not like a.
Not Bowser.
It's not like a shoot. It's like a really slow, just going down with his fingers.
Oh man!
Sorry, that was a joke. That only you have to watch the video version to get that one. YouTube.com/NextGenNewsWeek. Sorry for audio listeners. So we didn't really have a lot of news to talk about this week. So we didn't get to do this last week. So I thought we'd just catch up on what games we've been playing before doing trivia and going ahead and wrapping this up. So Steven, what have you been playing this week?
I have been immersed in Cyberpunk. I don't care what anybody says about Cyberpunk. I can deal with the graphical glitches. And surprisingly, I have not had a game crash. Minimal texture issues. Everything loads in like it's supposed to. Nothing freezes on my screen. I've had no problem out of it. And I've got the baby of the Xbox One series.
Nice.
So I'm not sure what it is. But like the story is like so immersive.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you so much to go on, and it's not just like do a side quest and that's it. Like you do a side quest, it has a story behind it, and you can come back to this person for specific things. And they have so many characters that you can do that with, and I'm just loving every bit of it. I'm also planning on playing Stranded Deep. Um, for the life of me, I was not ready to break away from Subnautica, but it's in the same boat, but it's a change of pace, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna pick that up. I'm also gonna get Scott Pilgrim versus the World because I'm in love with that movie. That was the first movie I deemed as a movie I love. So
Nice.
I've got to have the video game.
Yeah. Hey, without going into spoiler territory with Cyberpunk, have you met Pan Am yet?
Yes, I'm right there at Pan Am. Right
Okay.
there with Pan Am and what's her name, Rogue?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right there.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna say anything else. Richard, what have you been playing this week?
I've been playing Stranded Deep, which is it's really an unforgiving survival sim. I told you guys in the chat earlier today. It's essentially your Tom Hanks on Castaway. My first run through, I died on the third day because I think I ate like 3 or 4 coconuts in one sitting. So I got diarrhea, which dehydrated me, and then in a panic, I got in my life raft and I paddled to another island where this huge crab. There's nothing in the game that's like supernatural. It's very realistic. It's one of those, you've seen them. What are they called? Spider crabs or something like that. They're huge.
Yeah.
He didn't like me on that island, so he was chasing me down, and I decided to try and fight it with a little stone knife that I'd made, and it didn't work out. I died on the third day, and it said I died from dehydration, so I guess the crab didn't kill me. But right now, I've paced myself, and I'm on the 5th day, and things are going okay. I've had quite a bit of mix-ups where I have almost died. I've come like this close, but I've skated out by the skin of my teeth. And I don't know if it's engineered that way, but I don't know, it makes it really riveting. And I don't know, there is an end game. Like, this isn't like a Minecraft or anything else. Like, you can legitimately get out of this situation and go back to mankind and be rescued. But if the first week is any kind of indicator on what that looks like, this game is extremely difficult. It really is.
Well, cool. Michael, what about you?
I would love to say I played some really awesome games this week.
But
Like maybe really delve deep into Subnautica or played more Cyberpunk because that's also an amazing game. I have only really been playing. This is gonna come out of my face hole. Raid Shadow Legends.
Well, we just got an ad for the show.
Hey, hold on. Why? I too have been playing Raid Shadow Legends. I actually have. I've probably put.
I'm so sorry.
Join now.
Maybe
for
30 or 40 minutes into it. I don't know. It is different from that Marvel game that I asked you about.
It is a little bit different. Okay.
There's a little bit of a difference there. Yeah.
I mean, it's more fantasy based than I would assume Marvel is, and like they got so many different things to grind for that I guess it doesn't feel like too much of a grind. But if anyone is really wanting to get into it, I do have links to kind of help both of us if we get to level 50, I think it is. But like, there's other little small things that depend on what tier you get to, like 20 and 30 and 40. And then, but yeah, if we both make it to level 50, we all get like a legendary summon. I don't know. It's some bullshit. Anyway.
I may have to dust mine off, so.
Yeah. I will say, like, the first registry was a little bit confusing on it. I ended up losing my original screen name because I made the screen name and then, like, I wanted to link it to Facebook. And then when I did that, it wasn't quite clear, and it ended up making a new profile with Facebook instead of merging to it. And so, since I had no other way to reclaim the last screen name, I just lost it. So I can't re-log into that or nothing. There's no password to log in with.
Dang.
I have an odd story too. I followed that link that you sent me and I downloaded it. But when I started playing it, I was already at level 3 and had like 4 characters. So,
oh, Interesting. Weird.
Apparently, at some point within the past few years, I had already downloaded it and started
awesome.
playing it. So, but
Interesting.
I have no recollection of doing that. I started it up and I was like, I guess I've started this already. So yeah, I just
Or
kind of fell
someone
back
on
into
your
it.
phone
So.
did. Maybe
Or-
Maddie.
Or yeah, yeah, she can download anything that she wants if it's free. So that's true. I need to block that because some of those ad-based games, like some of those ads, are not
And
kid-friendly.
it is really like I made that a comment, and like the developer got back to me, and I'm like, okay, but that's bullshit. Like it is ad heavy, and it's not like ad for other things. It's ad for everything in the game, and like the developer was just like, oh, they're limited time offers, and I'm like, yeah, but I don't need to see the same link 5 times in a row.
Oh,
Like,
you
there's
mean
a
like
fucking
ads for
difference.
stuff within the game, though?
Yeah, so it's like,
Yeah.
oh, buy these gems, or buy this pack, or buy this pack, or this pack, or this pack, or this pack, and there's like 20 different damn
Now-
things you can buy. And I'm like, just tell me there's limited time items in the shop, and that be one ad, and then fucking leave it. Like,
That
if I'm gonna
is
buy
like
something, it's
So it
fucking
doesn't have that
annoying.
function
And then
to where
like
you
you
can
go, so like
buy
you run
away
a
the
dungeon
ads?
and you come back out to check on
No.
some things for your champion, and then boom, some more ads are in the shop. I'm like, god damn it, we already went through this one time.
that
But yeah, I
is
still
like
can't
that
stop
Marvel
playing.
game. Literally, like every single screen change on that Marvel game is like, "Hey, buy Deadpool," or something like that. So that is the same.
Dang. I too have been playing a mobile game, but it was not Raid Shadow Legends.
Was it AFK Arena?
No, it was Pokemon Go. They've been doing like a Hoenn challenge, so like everything's been like Gen 3 related.
I could do that. I've been hoeing a lot.
So spent some quality time down at Centennial Park in Nashville. Got my the whole thing was you had to get a bunch of Groudons and Kyogres, which are the main box legendaries for Ruby and Sapphire. And then once you get them, you get the opportunity to fight Rayquaza, which is the third legendary from that. So I've been grinding on that a couple days, and today we finally finished it. I was able to get a shiny Kyogre, which I was not ready for that. And then when I went to go get my Rayquaza, it was a shiny Rayquaza. So
Nice.
I was not ready to get double shinies out of that. And I caught a Ditto yesterday, which I've been looking for a Ditto for 3 years in that stupid game. So it was a good couple days playing Pokemon Go, and I only had to put $10 in it. So
Oh,
Why'd you have to put money into it? You were at Centennial Park.
Yes.
So I put money into it because I needed more incubators so I could hatch more eggs. And then,
Gotcha.
And then,
Gotcha.
if you don't, since they really don't want people getting out of their cars, but half of the gyms are not accessible by car, you have to get remote raid passes so you can just tap on the gym even if you're not close to it and you can go to it. And those cost $1 a pop. So
I stopped playing because my Pokemon thing is full.
yeah.
I can't
you gotta,
catch anymore.
you have to buy more storage, or you can
Yeah,
take them to the
want-
take them to the
Easiest way-
candy grinder.
Yeah, the easiest way to do it is to either transfer them or you need to start dropping at least one Pokemon into a gym a day. You get 50 of the Pokecoins. What is it? 100, 150, 200, something like that, to get 50 extra slots. So like a 4-day grind of dropping one Pokemon into a gym could get you some free slots.
Yep.
So.
Which shout out to my Melmetal. It's a newer legendary, but I put him in a gym yesterday at about 4 in the afternoon, and no one's been able to beat him. And I keep checking on him every chance I get and keep feeding him berries so he doesn't die. But
That's sad.
if you feel like for a challenge, go to Moss Wright Park in Gilletsville because he's there in a yellow gym, ready to beat you
Don't
up.
worry, I'll be there.
Ready to beat you up. All right, let's wrap things up with round 3 of our trivia segment. Last week, Michael took the lead on a Pokemon related question, so he has 2 points to everyone else's 1, and this may be the time where someone or someone's may be able to bring that up. So we'll see. this week's question is, which Resident Evil game holds the Guinness World Record for worst dialogue in a video game? Again, that's which Resident Evil game holds the Guinness World Record for worst dialogue. Is it Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, or Resident Evil 6? Richard, no. I'll give it away.
Was it? Okay.
It's trivia.
Oh, no.
Trivia.
Well, yeah, but we're all gonna... I could be wrong. I'm just saying 1.
Okay, so Richard says Resident Evil 1. Steven.
Raccoon City.
And Michael.
What were the options again?
Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, or Resident Evil 6?
I'm going to go with 1.
Okay, so the correct answer is Resident Evil 1. Which
You kidding me?
which Richard was sitting there holding up the one finger the whole time.
I didn't even have to because, like, I mean, oh my God, it's so... You, Jill, the master of lock picking, you can get through. I mean, it's
I got the
horrible.
lockpick thing right here. It says, "Here's a lockpick. It might be handy if you, the master of unlocking, take it with you."
Yeah,
Oh my
it
fucking
was
God.
it
That's
was
pretty bad.
rough.
I didn't even know it was that damn
really
bad.
rough.
I was like, it can't be 0 because I kind of vaguely remember that be. I think that was my first one actually. Was Resident Evil 0 on the GameCube, right? Does that sound right?
Yeah, GameCube. I think so.
You know,
GameCube?
the problem is you can have a bad script, but if you've got good voice actors, it's not as bad. But man, when you've got a bad script and horrible voice actors, it just doesn't work at all.
All right, so that brings Michael to 3 points, Richard to 2 points, and Steven
2-1.
got that 1 point. So we'll hopefully there'll be plenty of opportunities to bring that score up as we go along. But we're going to go ahead and start wrapping things up. So, Steven, would you like to start with closing us out for this evening?
Sure. I will be streaming on Twitch, of course. I've been meaning to in the past week to get to Little Nightmares 1, so I can talk about it on stream to my Valiant 13. But I'll be getting to it this week. But you can find me on Twitch, The Breaks, THABREAKZ, all one word. I think that's gonna be pretty much it. Music is kind of slowed down. It's kind of like one of those first of the year type things. I don't work on too much music in the beginning of the year, but I mean, if you want to still check out what I have, Breaker Beats 2020 on SoundCloud.
Awesome. Richard?
Oh, I'm news heavy. The Darkest Dungeon Pledge Manager just opened. So even if you weren't a member of the Kickstarter, you can still get in as a late pledger. It is an expensive game. You know, if you're wanting the entire kit and caboodle, you're looking at about $400. But that Pledge Manager is open. You still have a shot. Let me see. What else? After 2 years, I finally got the Bloodborne board game that I Kickstarted like 2 years ago. So videos upcoming of that. Next week, I know I mentioned it a little bit before Christmas, but the do-it-yourself tutorial for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle board game Dice Tower, that video is coming out. The review of the Disney Villainous video is coming out. The Night of the Living Dead review is up now. And next month, the 2 videos is sort of a head-to-head of the 2 Back to the Future games that were just released at the end of the year. So a lot of good stuff. Find me at Board Game Breakdown TV on YouTube and on Facebook.
All right. And Michael?
Not a whole lot of news with ours. We're still slowly pushing forward with to 200 members on unsolicited nudes. I have seen an uptick in people requesting to join, so that's always nice. But we're not quite there yet. Open box tech deals Still not really a whole lot going on there either. Walmart at least has marked some things down. I was actually gonna post something earlier, but I mean they were already gone.
Yeah.
But I would suggest if you're listening abroad, check your local WalMarts and see what kind of stuff they have marked down. I did get a really good deal on the original Galaxy Buds. They were originally $150, and I'm got them. They're on rollback right now at Walmart and Walmart.com for $49.
Oh wow!
So if you don't, I mean, the new ones, the Plus has like 11 hours listening time. The original ones only have like somewhere between like 4 to 6 hours. But who really wants them in their ear for a solid 11 fucking hours?
Right.
Like, that's a very niche thing. Plus, most people have their charging case with them, and you can alternate ears. Both buds have a microphone built in, which is kind of further enables the ambient noise detection. Because you can actually filter out the ambient noise and the volume of the ambient noise and even focus on voices, even on just the regular buds. So I do highly recommend those as far as name brand earbuds for a really great price.
Yeah, and just something else to throw out there. Major retailers are starting to get resupplies on PS5s and Xbox Series X's and Series S's. Walmart, Target, and GameStop, I believe, actually had systems available today. They never disclosed like what time. It was just today to help try to prevent the bots from getting in there and getting them. Of course, they're sold out by the time you're hearing this, but it's starting to slowly trickle back out again after for several weeks where you couldn't find them at all, especially like right after Christmas. So just if you're still looking to find one or replace one, just make sure you're keeping an eye on those websites, so hopefully you'll be able to get one. But I think, and I've been telling people,
use a bot. That's going to be the only way. Shit.
Yeah, pay for a bot and get one. I've been telling people that I work with, like customers wise, I'm thinking come late March, early April is when it's finally going to settle down. So you should be able to find one a lot easier, and hopefully there'll be a lot more games to play. Other than there's great games on both of them that you can pick up. Speaking of the Medium, it comes out on Friday, the day you're watching this. So if you are have an Xbox Series X or Series S, your first major exclusive game, the Medium, is out now. So make sure you check that out if you love psychological horror games. But that being said, if you want to find me anywhere on the internet, just look up Meechflow. I'm all over the place. Got a Redbubble page where I got some new designs up. We got a Twitter, a Twitch that I'm not really using, and a YouTube where you can find some really old funny videos that I made a long time ago. But if you want to see me get beaten up by cops in GTA 5 for not doing anything wrong, that's like I think the most recent video on that. on that. So anyway, that's going to be it for this episode, and we'll be back next week with, I don't know, hopefully a Nintendo Direct to talk about or something. But hopefully we'll have something for you. But we'll see you then.
Maybe that KFC console.
Yes, we're going to pit the KFC console versus the Bud Light console versus the Atari VHS or whatever it's called.
Let's do it.
Which one can play Cyberpunk the shittiest? Find out next week. Michael?
Let's see. This is a tough one, but I think this week's episode brought to you by... Oh man, I didn't have anything prepared this time. Oh man.
Let everybody down.
It took 34 episodes.
Oh my god. Like I've run out of ideas. I was gonna be like Raid Shadow Legends, but that's just like way too typical. Right? Like Raid Shadow Legends.
Well, you are bringing. I'm starting to wonder if you really are getting paid.
Yes.
I mean, I'm playing it right now. It's like the auto battle system. And it's just been going on.
What you can't tell is right off the camera, standing on his bed, is his dog Ginkgo with a gun to his head, with a script for Raid Shadow Legends. Like, read this or get got.
I just can't stop, guys. Oh,
well,
man.
Find out next week what Michael... Oh, no, wait. You got one?
Yes.
Okay.
my Redbubble page.
Okay.
More particularly, it's the guy who stole artwork from my Redbubble page that I almost forgot I had made. And someone stole that artwork for no goddamn reason, because mine still hasn't sold shit, and his is even shittier than mine. So why would you steal shitty artwork? And he even stole the description.
Oh wow.
How far do you have to go?
Wait, are you being serious right
I am! And it's so ridiculous, but I made some new artwork based off of a Twitter post, and it is hilarious. So you should check out my Redbubble at Stalled Action if you want a really funny face mask for your gay friends.
How did you find out about
It
this?
was on my feed because I was looking at my own shit, and like, I don't know, I guess I Google searched it, and all of a sudden it was there on the feed. I'm like, wait, that's my design. Those are the same fucking colors. What the fuck? And that's how I found it. And weirdly, it's like 4 years old, and that's also the only artwork that person has on their page. I'm like, what the fuck?
So what you do is you take yours down and then steal theirs and then re-upload it.
Oh man, that'd be the best. But
And then let them on
really
there.
no point. It looks like really shitty, like it's not a direct copy, but it looks like someone took an app to make, because it was a calendar that I'd made for a certain like alternative living or something like that. So it's based off of that to help get you motivated. But it looks like what they did, instead of designing something, they just took an app to make a calendar and filled in the same colors.
Yeah.
Which is really lazy. And then they stole the description, and then that was that. And it's stupid. So that guy. That's who it's brought by, that guy.
Y'all have a good week. We'll be back with a follow-up to how Michael's story keeps going next week. Y'all take it easy.
Later.
Raid Shadow Legends!